ASXC, what's the news on this thing? It has all this overhead. It would have been better if it had gapped up over this 200 day. What's the news? Only if it has some relevant news. A lot of these, you know, single, double, $1, $2 stocks, most of them are pumps. Chat rooms pushing them. That's the problem with these low priced ones. I saw people mention this Fastly, absolutely nothing here. If it was strong, if there was demand on this thing, it would have gapped up over 60 over the 200 day, and preferably even over the highs here. And also numbers are very weak. But this SSYS looks, yeah, as clean air, you know, coming off a long, kind of long sideways. It had a little bit of run up here, but it doesn't really matter for a small cap stock like this. No, it does have a lot of neglect. It's been going sideways for like 5 years, you know. It's been going sideways for 10 years. I would say it's pretty neglected. SITM good earnings. Yeah, these things have, but where's the EP, guys? Where was the EP? Where should have guys bought it? Hint, early August. Look at the numbers. Look at this. This is what you want to see on an EP. Forget about all of these Fastly and QCAM. They all look like shit. QCAM is super slow. These are the stocks. If you have a small account, these are the ones you're gonna focus on. The ones that gap over any kind of, you know, resistance, and, you know, there's nothing there, right? It's just free air. No moving averages above, you know. These are the ones. There were so many last earnings season. There's so many. I didn't even see this until today. But if I had a small account, I would have wanted to be in this thing. This ALB is so annoying. I bought it here. I bought it here. Man, I have so bad patience. I bought it here. This day here. Right? I got stopped out here. Then I rebought it a couple of weeks ago. I rebought it here. And I sold it on this day here. Because it was low ADR, and I was thinking I wanted to increase the average ADR on my portfolio, so I sold it, and now it's straight up since. Sometimes it's just best to do nothing. Yeah, SQM. This one I was in here. I think here and maybe here, and, you know, I was in it a couple of times, but this time around I missed it. It's too thin anyways, but man. This is why I'm trying to use the weekly charts a little bit more, because they're so much cleaner. They're so much cleaner. I'm using both the weekly and the monthly, because sometimes you don't see it on a daily, but you see it on the weekly or monthly. For example, how did I pick my MAs? I don't know. I don't remember. 65 EMA. The logic, actually, the 65 EMA, I heard about on the daily chart. The logic behind the 65 EMA on the daily chart, I'm gonna show you guys, is, especially among like can slim people, is that sometimes, a lot of times these, you know, like leading stocks, etc., you know, they usually obey the 50 day on the way up, but sometimes they have these shakeouts below the 50 day, and this ALB is a good example, but look at where they found support instead. The 65 EMA. But I don't use this thing on the daily. I use it on the hourly. Why? I don't know. It kind of works. It doesn't matter, guys. This moving, you can use whatever. Who cares? You can use whatever. You can use the 9 EMA, the 17 front weighted. It doesn't fucking matter. But I would recommend you use one that is faster, one that's slower, one that's even slower, etc., etc. Bill has earnings today. My recommendation is not to buy this thing today and hold it overnight. That's, you know, I'm not a financial advisor, but you know, unless you bought it on the EP here, you shouldn't hold it overnight, because who knows where it goes to earnings. Could gap up 20%, could gap down 30%. Who knows? Yeah, these indicators, they're just, you know, they're there for fun, right? They don't really, we imagine those things matter. Sometimes they don't. Sometimes they do. You don't need any indicators. You really don't. You really don't need any indicators except for volume. And if I started trading from the beginning, I wouldn't even use the share volume indicator. I would use a dollar volume indicator. You think I'm gonna be a billionaire trader without other people's money? I think so too. I have the tools. I have the tools to get there. I have the process. I just need, good markets. But, looking at the NASDAQ, the longer this straight up action continues, the it's not gonna go on forever, right? It's kind of slow compared to the 90s, but still, the expected forward returns are gonna be smaller and smaller the more we go straight up. But it would be nice to get a blow off. Like, let's say we're gonna straight line to 20,000. That would be like a dream scenario. Oh, and by the way, if you wonder what these arrows are, I made a study of supernovas, or like parabolic shorts, and when they, like, what the market indices looked like, or where they triggered, just to get a glimpse of, to understand where you get those setups. I'm gonna do the same for like different types of EPs and breakouts too. I've been too lazy to do it. How do you measure if the market is extended? Well, you can kind of see it. You can use your eyes. I mean, you don't need to be a genius to understand that the market starts acting like, the market has gone, done something like this for 10 years, 12 years. It's not gonna keep on doing that forever, right? Because that's not what markets do. Markets can also do this. They can also do this. They can do this. They can do, this. Markets can do nothing for a long time. You gotta bank on action like this. Yeah, on the log chart it doesn't look not on the if you compare to the 90s. If you compare to the 90s, it doesn't look that bad, but I don't necessarily think it's very smart to compare to the 90s. People have no idea what they're doing. A lot of people, they just want to make trades. People want to make trades. They don't spend time on, studying the markets, like how do stocks move, when do they move, how do they move, what makes them move. People just want to make trades, including me. I do a lot of random trades that I know I shouldn't do. But it's hard, it's difficult. That's why so few people who actually make money from active trading, and even fewer that make, like really big money. It's really power loss in this business.